Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Let me read to you the account that I wrote regarding the first day of beloved Baba's visit to Avatar's Abode, 1958. The meeting hall. On this concrete slab, 7 foot square, defined by pieces of volcanic rock, beloved Avatar Meher Baba sat on the first day of his visit to Avatar's Abode, 3rd June 1958. His very presence was an active, flowing ocean of love, embracing those who had gathered on the property to be with him. Behind him stood throughout the meeting the 4 close disciples who had accompanied him on his world tour. And before him sat the 51 men, women and children on long wooden planks supported by timber stumps. The floor was earth, and the walls were 1/3 galvanised iron, and the remainder hessian, that is burlap. And with the cool wind that developed as the meeting progressed, the atmosphere became drafty and unsettling. We stood as he was carried in his chair to the platform, and we sat as he gestured for us to do so. There was a pause, with beloved Baba looking at us, and in that timeless moment we were caught and riveted anew in the wondrous beauty, strength and purpose of his face. In retrospect, it felt as though this was the defining moment of his second visit to this part of his world. He had endured the exhausting journey to the southern hemisphere with a body broken in health after 2 car accidents, and by already 38 years of constant crucifixion in absorbing some of the world's karma. Yet, in his compassion and love, he had come for this handful of souls and for Australia. He came to Australia twice to give his love, and on this visit he created the second place that would provide a never-ending, especially potent source of that love for the people of this land. As a land and as a people, we would awaken spiritually, a country located in the East, and yet as a people of the West, and thus perhaps in his plan for the next 700 years, a significant link between East and West. Beloved Baba's words, given through Erich, then gave human dimension to that timeless moment. I am the ocean of love. Drink deep at that fountain. Love has no limit, but mind is in the way, and mind cannot be annihilated by mind. Only by loving me as I ought to be loved can the mind be destroyed. If you love me with all your heart, you will be made free eternally. There can be no compromise. One cannot love the world and love God. The man of the world has to compromise, but to have obedience to Baba, one cannot compromise with the ways of the world. Love me and obey me, and you will find me. I am the Ancient One, the one residing in every heart. Therefore, love others, make others happy, serve others, even at discomfort to yourself. This is to love me. Then Baba called for the repentance prayer to be read by one of the men, and when it finished, he said that in his divine authority, he forgave all our sins up to that moment. The hours that Baba spent with us in this meeting hall were the most consistently serious period of his entire visit. His love enveloped us, penetrating deep within our hearts and challenging us in the sincerity of our declared love for him. Far from here seemed the sunny, light hours of his stay 2 years earlier in Mayor House, Sydney. Far were those personal moments of human intimacy experienced by many in Sydney and Melbourne. Now was the confronting challenge of our next step towards the spiritual path. Did we step forward with him, or did we linger to wait another day? As he said during those hours, as Jesus I said, leave all and follow me. And now I say, hold fast to my Dharma. I have been saying the same thing in different words down the ages. Be honest with yourself in your love for me. Love and obey me. But if you cannot love and obey me, then just obey me, and my Dharma cannot fall from your grasp. The culminating point of that most intense time appeared to be when a teenage boy, deeply troubled over the question of absolute obedience to Baba, again had tears in his eyes. Baba gestured to him with the most loving expression. Baba loves you. You must not be sad. As tears still fell, Baba added, when you cry, see, Baba cries too, as he pointed to the rain that was gently falling. In that moment, surely beloved Baba was expressing his compassion for all in Australia and our difficulty with absolute obedience to his wishes. Now I think again upon that day, a glorious day when God-man was with us and reminded us to pray that we all live in deed and word and thought in accordance with his will.
I'm back again, and this time I have something really precious and remarkable to share with you. This is a ghazal that Baba had written. He wrote it himself. I think it was in 1926 or 27, in that period, of his experience of getting God realization. And he describes what his experience is. So if you want to know what God realization is like, he's telling you what happened here, exactly what happened to him. And his tremendous love for Babajan. Boy, did he love Babajan. Nobody understands how much he adored and loved Hazrat Babajan. She was the one that gave him the enlightenment, that lifted the veils, that made him become one with everything. Oh boy. Anyhow, I'm going to read this to you. And I have some music here that I was using as a little background as I recite Baba's ghazal. Oh beloved Master, I am eternally grateful to you. If I had 100,000 lives, I would sacrifice one of them at your feet. You drowned me in the eternal ocean of oneness and transformed me into an ocean like yourself. In the twinkling of an eye, you made a lover into God. And God I have become. O Emperor of Masters, O Ocean of Mercy, O Perfection personified, Sadguru, if your merciful glance falls on anyone, a beggar turns into a king. Gods, goddesses, angels, celestial beings, and men are all awed by the brilliance of your divinity. O enlightened Master of the three worlds, even if I were to transform my body into the sandals of your feet, it would be nothing in comparison with what you have done for Merwan. It just shows what love he had for her. You know what I said after I found this and I read this? I said, everybody needs their Baba Jan. This is what everybody needs, to have that kind of enlightenment, personal enlightenment like that, what she gave to him. But then when I thought about it, I said, wait, we do have Baba Jan to do this for us in Merwan, because she gave everything to him to give to us. So she lives in him to give to us that same divine realization of being one with everyone and everything. One with God and man and animal and anything, and everything. How is this possible? In my mind, I thought about this. And then Baba even told us about it. He said it's all a dream. In a dream, you're everything. You have your dream at night, you're everything in it. So this is the awake dream, that you wake yourself from your nighttime dream into your awake dream. So God is everything in it. And you'll realize it someday when all the things that stand in the way of it are removed. And that's what he's here for. Baba isn't here to give you something. It's already in you. He has to remove the obstacles that prevent you from realizing it and experiencing it, and then it's all there for you, and you have it. And with that, I say, Mayor Baba, Jai Baba to everybody.
When I have this opportunity to speak some of Francis Ghazals, I also like to remember this piece from Hafiz, actually, which was one of Baba's favourite poets. I am happy, even before I have a reason. I am full of light, even before the sky can greet the sun or the moon. Dear companions, we have been in love with God for so very, very long. What can Hafiz do now but forever dance? Now this little ghazal is from The Beloved is All in All. I remember in spring the paddocks were full of wild flowers. Today the streets are full of faces. The first singing hours lengthened into years, and years were journeys. I returned chastened. And love who had been seeking me from the doorway of time, hastened up and stood by my side. On his breast was a rose tattooed by spears, and his feet were blistered from millions of lovers' molten tears. He said, I cannot untie the rope, I cannot untie the knots of revolt. The rope is too new. Only the tug of war soaring across perspectives will fray it through. He said, there are fishes scaled with precious stones, and animals slow as smoke and swift as fire, but these would not be preferred before you if you make your beloved your only desire. I said, millions of times have I remembered your name, each time making it new. He said, that only shows how many times I have remembered you. Then I came out into the streets of faces, innocent as flowers, for journeying was done, and the years shortened again into hours.
Beloved Mayhem, in the first dawn the stars were singing to you. Beloved Mayhem, that same song they sang, we're now bringing to you. The beloved is all in all. Praise Him, praise Him, praise Him, praise Him. And the lover is nothing but his whim. This song is the song, Mayhem, that I sing on my journey to your dwelling place. This is the mighty song, Mayhem, that sustains me till I meet you face to face. The beloved is all in all. Praise Him, praise Him, praise Him, praise Him. The beloved is all in all.
Ghazal 80 from A Dust I Sing by Francis Brabazon. Melody by Sam Saunders. Last evening there was a crescent moon telling me of a time of fullness, of perfect poverty, when I will no longer be a dust dweller in Love Street, but dust itself kissing oh so lightly my beloved's feet. Then the wine shop keeper, seemingly knowing my desire, had me called and gave me wine, which lit in my heart love's fire. Then ordered the musicians to tune their drums and strings, and poured wine for all. And the bird of song took wings, and the bird of song took wings, bird of song, and the bird of song took wings, bird of song took wings. So we spent the night, I at last the seeker who no more seeks. And now over the housetops steps the girl with the rosy cheeks. The morning breeze bears the scent of honeycomb and bark. From the ocean's rim shoots up the sun's first burning spark. In a fly's wing space I see the world I left, the world of pain. And I brush his hand with my lips as he fills my glass again. Do 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 do.
J Baba, this is OJ and Angie from Mayor Road. We're going to play you a song by Cindy Lowe called Roses for the Queen.
To be here somehow. much more than I can see. So let my life become a garland for the King, and roses for the Queen, the Queen, the Queen, the Queen.
Living alone in this old sinful world, hardly a comfort can afford. Striving alone to face temptation's call, where could I go but to the Lord? Where could I go? Where could I go? Seeking a refuge for my soul, needing a friend to help me in the end. Where could I go but to the Lord? Neighbors are fun, I love them everyone. We get along in sweet accord. But when I pass the chilling hand of death, where could I go but to the Lord? Where could I go? Where could I go? Seeking a refuge for my soul, needing a friend to help me in the end. Where could I go but to the Lord? Life is grand with friends I love so well. Comfort I get from God's own word. But when my soul needs manna from above, where could I go but to the Lord? Where could I go? Where could I go? Seeking a refuge for my soul, needing a friend to help me in the end. Where could I go but to the Lord? Where could I go? Where could I go? Seeking a refuge for my soul, needing a friend to help me in the end. Where could I go but to the Lord? Where could I go but to the Lord? Jai Baba.
بر حلقه مویت مست اسیر است، بینم خونین دل اینان سر هر دندانه، بینم خونین دل اینان سر هر
Hello, I'm Scott McCaig. I'm calling in from Asheville, North Carolina. Greetings to Jim and to anyone in Australia or anywhere who is tuning into this. Today, I'd really like to share something that I've been working now on for a couple of years, but really began for me with a discovery I made nearly 50 years ago. After attending the Darshan program in Pune in 1969, I first returned to Mehrabad and Merazad in 1970 and stayed on into 1971. During that time, I got to know Adi, Sr., and when I was leaving, he offered me a set of the Meher Baba journals, which was published in a monthly edition by Baba and the Western Mandali, mainly on the Hill, living there at the time, from 1938, end of 1938 to 1942. I took them home to Berkeley and read them and discovered the articles of Princess Nerina Machabeli. She was one of those publishing and editing the journal. She was listed as the circulation editor. And of course, it was up to them there to contribute the articles, particularly in the beginning, to fill the pages of the journal. Of course, the most important contribution was by Meher Baba himself. He agreed to give one discourse every month. Those discourses became the discourses that we all know and have been published in many editions in many languages now throughout the world. But in the same issues that published those discourses, the articles of Nerina Machabeli appeared and have been almost not commented on at all for the last 80 years. I was fascinated by them at the time and even wrote a school finishing paper on them. But when I tried to share them with other people interested in Baba, I received more or less blank stares. And so I decided the time wasn't right. This was confirmed a bit when I talked to Kitty Davy in the center, and she remembered that, yes, Nerina had produced these manuscripts for the journal, but the language in some of them was so strange that the editor said to Baba, now, Nerina is Italian. Maybe her English isn't quite, and so can't we use editorial discretion and make the language more normal and natural? And Baba told them this. He said, no, you are all children. Don't change one word. These articles will be appreciated in the future. And in fact, that was 80 years ago. These have been hidden in plain sight, I would say, for all these years. The unique feature of these messages is that Nerina would alternate in writing her own thoughts and then quoting Baba directly through intuition, something that Baba confirmed to them and later by telegram in New York, that yes, Nerina has my intuitive voice, something quite unique during his lifetime, that he allowed such messages to be shared publicly and even published alongside his own discourses. The theme of all the messages is the awakening. Baba always said, I have not come to teach, but to awaken, and painted a glowing picture of what that would mean, bringing together all the religions like beads on one string and so on. But it's in these messages that Baba gave the most detailed picture of what the coming transmutation in consciousness, as it was called, would be, would amount to, would mean. In the universal message, Baba said that when he broke his silence, it would help every individual to break himself free from his own bondage in his own way. It had always struck me as a mystery how that might occur. These messages, while not prescriptive, give a picture of that. Even in the messages themselves, he confirms that these were given for the future. For instance, in one of them he says, the supreme expansion of the conscious existence in man has to be the new form of free religion. It is no more to be called by any name, but it is to be felt. Today I say this for the new age that has to come, and no more for the past earth conditions that have to pass. So about 16, 18 months now ago, I thought, that is 48 years after I first read these messages, I thought perhaps I should look at them again. Perhaps they would have more meaning now. And I discovered them on the Trust website in facsimile form, available for download. I did download them. I made up a book for myself of all the messages. Her articles in total in the small journal format amount to some 250 pages. None of that text shared with the two booklets that were published in the late 40s of her work. The unique feature of these messages, many of the messages that Baba gives, is that they use what he calls in them the mystical language. And here is one of his messages about the mystical languages, a language within one of the articles. Baba, as the voice speaking through Narina, said or wrote, the unfathomable mystical language has this advantage over the intellectual, philosophical way of speaking, that it is straight from the supreme source, from where it is creative, unrealized, pure expansion of conscious existence. It has the advantage of deep, unself-reactive, real order within in being. Apparently, it is unfathomable and unintelligible, but it is far more than intelligence realization. It is pure being realization. In this realm of knowing, the thought has the creation power of being clear, pure, unself-reactive in the head, but real expansion in being. Whatever is the meaning, it is radiation of its pure source of existence. And then later in that article, he cautions, no one needs to understand my mystical language, but everyone must read it with reverence and realize that in that realm of I, invisible, is I, the one who is doing this expansion in conscious order, who has to bring to the surface the radiant order of this creation show, unfathomable. So it's clear, even from those passages, that not only what the message Baba was giving us and leaving for us, but even the way of speaking, the vocabulary, the set of terms, the vantage point from which these messages arise and can be experienced by us is different from all his other messages, I should say. I've been working on a book of these, and I would like to share. But I've found that in the compressed form of the small journal format and the long involved sentence structure of many of the messages, that it might be easier to make them more understandable if I parse them out on the page. So in this edition, I've changed nothing except obvious typesetting errors, but I have parsed the sentences out on the page using just new lines and indentation to make the structure clearer. And I'd like to read from the article My Life in Baba, which was published toward the end of 1939 in the Meher Baba journals. Narina begins, Sri Meher Baba in me is life in pure intuition. He is me in intuition infinite, giving in me truth as scient order in conscience. Scient meaning knowing. Sri Meher Baba is in me in being, in action infinite, the impersonal life. Sri Meher Baba is in me in being, in action infinite, the impersonal life. He speaks. I am here to give new life infinite. I am here to sow in you truth in finite experience. I am here to live in man, the divine I, in use, in intuition. I am here, mind, one, I, truth, to give in mind, one, I, life as use infinite. I here say, it is my one in I use in some of my own disciples. You, as my own disciple, are use of my one in I word as work infinite. Life is work of truth. One is work of truth. I is work of truth. I am in it, one all work of truth. This is to be shown to all who, winning in I, sow in I, one. I am one all, one I, in use infinite, in mind infinite, of all who in me win in I, the use selfish. Narina continues, the evolutionary phase of the self-effect selfish is coming to its end. Mind as self-use individual has to resign. Mind has to win in the expansion in I infinite. Life as finite use has to realize in I infinite its expansion infinite. Sri Meher Baba replies, this is and shall be when I shall live in mind in man, new in verb. Verb is life in love, unconditional in all. That I in all shall awaken. It is to be soon. I here prepare the way in all who in me win the I infinite. It is to be seen, heard, and felt. It is to be real experience. It is to be truth form in all, in ordering conscience. It is here on the earthly plane that it has to react. It is here in the plane of life in ignorance that I shall draw in mind, truth as state real. This I show here to them who owe to be my disciples, by giving in them conscious realizing reaction. Life is as it is, one. Mind is as it is, one. Truth is as it is, one. Give in, bring in, resign. I in you shall earn in one in all new truth. This I here say, I sign as Sri Meher Baba to signify its real worth. Rena says, we need to evolve. We have to surpass the phase in reaction selfish. It is indivisible life, indivisible good, real being, expansion in knowing, and in self-use infinite. It is being order. To resign to one who is real is to resign in use infinite in us for use of him, the beloved, true, real one. Sri Meher Baba speaks. Give me the plan of life real. Give me the game of life unreal. Give me the work of life infinite. Give me the passing design of you as woman in human strife. See no use in self for I, or in mind, or in intellect, but in me as use of me. The way to know is one. The way to live is two. The way to react is two. The way to see in me the use infinite is all one only use. And that is love. When I shall use the verb to resurrect mind in men, and the divine I in mind in use of me, it is for use of my one in I life infinite. And that is now in preparation. I am here to give in you my newborn form, new real oneness expansion in love. To say it is to do it. Irina continues, this he in use in us is doing and undoing in every phase, in every hour of life, by experience, by full life in ordinary way of life, in being in it use impersonal. We learn to give for use indivisible, real. What we do win in giving in us for use of him is to form new in use of I infinite, our one as I as portion infinite. He in use in us is doing the speedy order to evolve. So we live here in use infinite, in I indivisible, knew the reaction show of life as strife in use in him. We do in us realize use. It is life and real being state in one all way to react unself-reactive, unselfish. This is the most we as his oneness I in him resigned owe to see, to know, to feel, till he in use indivisible one helps us out of the new life in self-state, in delusion, real. Sri Meher Baba speaks. No one is real till in me resigned. No one is good till in me, in self, in use infinite, real in being, in devotion infinite, real in I, in selfless service. Narina. So it is a game of I to realize in use of us, him. He in use in us is the new winning order to capitulate once more to truth. Sri Meher Baba here says, give in. I help you in giving in. Do more. I do in you the most. Give in. I in you triumph. Jai Baba.
Here's a song that I thought was kind of nice for the quarantine time. It just, Baba reminded me of it. No one to talk with, all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you, for you, for you, for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's you that I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what should I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Oh, Baba, I don't stay out late, no place to go. Am home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what should I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Oh, Baba, I don't stay out late, no place to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Do 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 do.